Human skeletal system. Learning objectives. Human skeletal system. Parts of the skeleton. Functions of the skeletal system. Joints. Muscle system. Human skeletal system. The skeletal system consists of bones and forms the framework of our body. It is made of 206 bones. It gives shape to the body and protects the internal organs like the heart, lungs and kidneys from getting injured. Human skeletal system. Skull. Fixed joint parieto-temporal. Ball and socket joint shoulder. Vertebra. Humerus. Sternum. Pelvis. Rib. Radius. Ulna. Huge joint knee. Fibula. Tibia. Parts of the skeleton. The skeleton consists of the following parts. The skull. The skull includes the bones of our face, forehead, the back of our head and jaws. There are 22 bones in the skull. The bones in the skull are fixed, only the lower jaw is movable. This part is able to talk and eat. The skull supports the structure of the face and forms a cavity for the brain. Skull. Different organ systems and their functions. Systems, organs, functions. Nervous. Brain, nerves, spinal cord. Control of body activities and the reaction to stimuli, any change in the surrounding environment. Respiratory. Nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, lungs. Intake of oxygen and removal of carbon dioxide from the body. Digestive. Mouth, esophagus, stomach, liver, pancreas, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, anus. Breakdown of food and absorption for use as energy. Excretory. Kidney, bladder, ureters, skin. Remove waste from the body to outside. Control water and salt balance. Endocrine. Pituitary gland, adrenal gland, thyroid gland, gonads. Production of hormones and regulation of body functions. Integumentary. Skin. Protection of body from injury and bacteria, prevents loss of moisture, holds receptors for response against stimulus, body heat regulation, sweating. Skeletal and muscular. Bones and muscles. Protection of delicate body organs and movement. Circulatory. Blood, blood vessels. Heart, lymph. Transport of nutrients, metabolic wastes, water, salt and disease-fighting cells. The rib cage. Rib cage, also called the thoracic cage, is a bony structure made up of the rib bones and their connective tissues. The rib cage protects the heart and lungs from damage. There are 24 ribs in the human body, divided into two sets of 12 curved, flat bones. Each one is attached by cartilage at the back to the thoracic vertebrae. The first upper 7 ribs are known as true ribs and are directly attached by cartilage to a long flat bone at the center of the chest called the sternum, breastbone. The remaining pairs of ribs are known as false ribs. The 8th, 9th and 10th ribs are also attached to the sternum but not directly. The 11th and 12th ribs are called floating ribs as they are not directly attached to the sternum. Some people do not have these ribs, while others may have an extra set. Rib cage. Ribs. Sternum. The backbone. The backbone is the central support for the body. The backbone is also known as the spine. The backbone is made of separate small bones called vertebrae. The vertebrae are made up of ring-shaped bones. There are 26 vertebrae in the spine. The spine of a human being is curved and S-shaped. The curves allow the spine to support and balance the body on only 2 legs. Backbone. Cervical, 7 bones. Thoracic, 12 bones. Intervertebral discs. Lumbar, 5 bones. Limbs. The arms are called forelimbs. Each volume is made up of 3 bones: humerus, radius and ulna. Humerus is upper arm bone. Th's bone lies at the shoulder joints and at the elbow joints. Radius and ulna are lower bones. Wrists and hands are made up of many small bones. Hindlimbs or the legs also have 3 bones each. These bones help us stand upright and move. Femur or the thigh bone is the longest bone in the body. Femur bone extends from the hip joint to the knee. Lower leg is made of 2 bones called tibia and fibula. Tibia helps to support weight and fibula helps to control the movement of the ankle. Ankle and toes are made of many small bones. Lower limb: femur, patella, tibia, fibula. Upper limb: clavicle, scapula, humerus, elbow, radius, thumb, ulna, wrist. Girdles. There are 2 girdles in humans: the shoulder girdle or the pectoral girdle and the hip girdle or the pelvic girdle. Forelimbs and the hind limbs are attached to the girdles. The forelimbs or arms are attached to the shoulder girdle or pectoral girdle. Each pectoral girdle consists of shoulder blade and collar bone. The hindlimbs or the legs are attached to the pelvic girdle. Kidneys and the urinary bladder are protected by the pelvic girdle. Pelvic girdle with hindlimbs: clavicle, scapula, humerus, ulna, radius, carpals, metacarpals, phalanges. Pectoral girdle with forelimbs: femur, head, shaft, condyle, fibula, lium, pubis, obturator, foramen, ischium, patella, tibia, tarsals, metatarsals, phalange. Functions of the skeletal system. The skeletal system performs many important functions. 1. Provides structural support for the entire body. 2. Surrounds soft tissue, for example, ribs and sternum protect the heart and lungs, skull protects the brain. 3. Stores calcium and phosphorus. 4. Bone marrow produces red blood cells and white blood cells. 5. Storage of minerals and lipids, fats. Movement of different parts of our body cannot be carried out by bones alone. They need help of muscles. Joints. 2 or more bones connect at a joint. Bones are held together at joints with the help of a tissue called the ligament. Ligaments are strong but they let our bones move. At the joints, the bones are also covered with another tissue called the cartilage. Cartilage protects the bones from wear and tear. There are 2 types of joints in our body. Immovable joints. These joints simply connect bones. They are fixed and do not allow any movement. These are found in the bones of skull and pelvis. Immovable joints. Structures. Movable joints. Most of our joints are movable joints. These joints are found mostly in our arms and legs where movement is needed the most. There are different types of movable joints. Movable joints. Distal phalanges. Distal phalanges. Proximal phalanges. Metacarpal bones. Carpal bones. Ball and socket joint. This type of joint is called a movable joint. Hips and shoulders contain ball and socket joint. In a ball and socket joint, one bone has a rounded end that fits into a cup-like cavity of another bone. This provides a wider range of movement. Thus, our hips and shoulders can swing in almost any direction. Ball and socket joint. Spine. Pelvic bone. Acetabulum ball. Femur. Sacrum. Coccyx. Pubis. Hinge joint. Hinge joint allows movement in only 2 directions, namely flexion and extension. Bones of the knee, elbow, fingers, and toes are examples of the hinge joint. Pivot joint. The pivot joint is between the first and the second vertebrae of the backbone. The radius and ulna, wrist and ankle joints are all pivot joints. These joints allow the rotating movement from side to side. Gliding joint. The joint between two vertebrae is called gliding joint, where one part of a bone slides over another bone. This joint enables the torso to bend forward, backward, sideways as well as rotate. Hinge joint. Pivot joint. Gliding joint. Humerus. Radius. Ulna. Radius. Scaphoid. Ulna. Lunate. Muscle system. Muscles help move animals and humans. Without muscles we would have been unable to move our mouth to speak or talk, hands to shake, and legs to walk. On an average, approximately 40% of our body weight is in muscles. We have over 630 muscles that move us. Muscles cannot push. They pull the body. Most muscles are arranged in opposite directions. Muscles are attached to bones by bland tissues called tendons. When the muscles contract or shorten, they pull on the tendons which pull on the bones and cause our limbs to move. Types of muscles. Just as our body has different types of bones, muscles too are of two types. Voluntary muscles. The voluntary muscles are under our control and are attached to the skeleton. They are also known as skeletal muscles. These muscles work only when we want them to work. Muscles of our hands, legs and face are examples of voluntary muscles. Voluntary muscles. Involuntary muscles. Some muscles are not under our control. They are called involuntary muscles. They control the muscular contracting of heart, the movement of diaphragm so that we can breathe or blink our eyes. The muscular system consists of three different types of muscles tissues: skeleton, cardiac, smooth. Involuntary muscles. How do muscles work? Muscles are the engine that our body uses to propel itself. Although they work differently than a car engine or an electric motor, muscles do the same thing: they turn energy into motion. It would be impossible for us to do anything without our muscles. Absolutely everything that we conceive in our brain is expressed as muscular motion. The only way to express an idea is with the muscles of our larynx, mouth and tongue, spoken words, with the muscles of our fingers, written words or talking with our hands, or with the skeletal muscles, body language, dancing, running, building or fighting, to name a few. Muscles are efficient at turning fuel into motion. Hence they are long-lasting, self-healing and are able to grow stronger with practice. They do everything from allowing us to walk to keeping our blood flowing. Working of the arm muscles and leg muscles. Sci facts. Eye muscles are the busiest muscles in the body. They may move more than 1 lakh times a day. Summary. The skeletal system forms the framework of our body. The skeleton consists of the following parts: skull, rib cage, the backbone, limbs and girdles. 2 or more bones connect at a joint. There are 2 types of joints in our body: immovable joints and movable joints. We cannot move anything inside or outside our body without muscles. Keywords. Bone. Bone is the substance that forms the skeleton of the body. Skeletal system. The hard structure, bones and cartilages, that provides a frame for the human body.